Good morning YouTube and the internet. Today, got a timing light. Just going to double check this timing is firing where it was before when I was troubleshooting, before it would start at all, and make sure that that's not the issue. I don't think it is. Someone did say to me though that when the CAS wears, it can retard the timing. So as they fail, the timing becomes more and more retarded. So I think I have a spare one laying around somewhere. Couldn't hurt to swap it out and try another one. If the timing, I don't know if the timing light will show that. I suppose it will, because it goes off the spark when the actual timing is firing, so I guess it will show it. Yeah, so another suggestion was if the mess is on a single cylinder, which I haven't determined if that's the case, or if it's just missing on all of them when I try to build the revs. You get a infrared thermometer, not like this, like the one I have over there somewhere in the back of this garage. Place is a mess again. And put it on each, point it at each exhaust port and see which one, if any, are running at a lower temperature, because that'll indicate there's the mess. Because well, there's not clean combustion, so it's just not burning. Therefore, it's not going to have the temperature of the others. So we'll see about that. But for starters, we'll just get the timing light on, see what we can see. Well, it seems I just did all of this without the camera on. I've put a timing light on here. So, and I showed you how to pull this out and everything. There's just two bolts, screws down on here. You pull the coil pack out. This plugs in there, goes on there. This goes around there. That senses when the firing is happening. We give it power. And as I said earlier, although you weren't on, if you've got two people, it's better just to turn it over. But I've started it and run the car because I'm here by myself. So yeah, that's the thing. Now the result is a bit funny. It's jumping around a little bit, and I'm just double checking the timing marks. I'm pretty sure they're 5 degrees every mark. The first mark is 0, but that's something I just want to double check. If that's right, then it's going between about 12 and 15 degrees. So the timing's moving. I assume that's a bad thing. If that's inconsistent. Now whether that's the CAS itself or if it's maybe just a plug, not sure. But the upshot is that it's too far advanced. Or is it? I did play with the timing while I had it running. And let me double check the marks exactly what they are, and I might redo the test. So you can see there, timing starts at 0 and gets more advanced as you go around to the right. So it is what I thought it was, and it's bouncing between halfway between the second and third mark and all the way over to the third mark. Now I'll start it again and redo the test for my own solidity of thoughts, I suppose is what I'm going to say. I don't think that's a real phrase you can use though. Don't think that's a thing. Like I said before, put everything over here in the middle to start it up, because I don't want any wires fouling on the fan or the cam belt, anything like that. And we'll kick her in the guts again. the mark where it was pretty much hard over is 10 degrees, which is where we want it. Like, it's just off the thing. But while it's running, it's rotating over. I suppose just the force of the actual cam turning around in there, shaking it. This is because we don't have the cover on, so we don't have a load against it. So I might try and find some washers to put in here so I can lock the timing hard where I want it and see if that fixes it. It could be as simple as soon as I'm starting it, the timing's moving around, which would make sense to why I was getting a sort of a moving figure, and I was watching it move there and I could actually see the case shifting a little bit. So could be as simple as that. That's not the variable timing, that's not how it works. So I'll get some washers and see if I can make that case stay still and start it and see if the timing stays where it's supposed to. And that may not be the cause of the mess yet. That's just like another little problem I've discovered, probably. And the belt squeal is horrible from the coolant running onto the fan and then being flung onto the belts. There's nothing I can do about that until I get a new radiator cut. Alright, this is a little bit harder than I thought to get the washers in behind there without dropping them. So I've stripped a very thin piece of wire. I've got 2 strands of copper out of that piece of wire. Run them through my washers. I can use that to lower it in there far enough without losing them. Yep. And then pull the wire out. Or just cut it. Yep, there we go. And then I can get them back out when I need to. So that's I've got 1 thick washer and 2 thin ones. Spaces it out quite well. I did think to use a magnet, but that's brass and they're non-ferritic stainless, so I can't use a magnet. So now let's get 2 more strands off this for the next one. Using any more than 2 strands, the bolt won't fit in the hole. So you do actually have to push it in because of the friction from the copper wire, but it's pretty easy to overcome. And there we go. We're in. And we've got a built-in retrieval method. So let's tighten these up. Don't have to be super tight. In fact, that's too tight. Just enough to stop it vibrating, but enough that I can force it to move. There we go. So set that, that's lined up with that mark. That one with that one. I marked this when I disassembled it. That mark was already there. And yep, we're at 10 degrees. That's much more rigid. Let's see if when I start it bounces around or if it's solid. I doubt it's going to fix it, but hey, you never know. Might be lucky. Let's fire up again. That shouldn't happen. So I'm holding the CAS too far out. To doubt. No, still bouncing around. So yeah, it's still a little bit inconsistent, and the timing's varying with RPM. So it could be the CAS itself, or it could be the timing map that I've put in the ECU. I had to advance the timing to get it to start, whatever that means. I'm sure that means something. And then once it started, as the idle dropped, the timing dropped. So I was playing with it, and the more I advanced the timing, the faster it would rev, and then it would advance itself to a point, and then when I brought it back to 10 degrees, the idle would start to drop and the timing would drop further and further down, down to 5, and that was about where it stalled out. So I don't know what causes that. Got to know your limitations. But I reckon the tuner will be able to sort that out. If I can find a CAS in this garage, or borrow one for a test, that might be the first thing I need to do. But there's definitely a timing issue there, and it's not the cam being in the wrong way this time. It's oh, I can laugh about it now. Well, the actual wasn't the cam itself; it was the gear. It just happened to be attached to the cam. I'm not sure where my spare CAS is, or if I thought I had 3. I definitely sold one. Well, I sold it to a dude I know, so I can probably get it back for a test to troubleshoot. If I can't find my other one. I've got shit everywhere. Look at this. Look at this box of fucking head bits. It's just full of shit. Fucking valve springs. Like, well, most of this is rubbish too. It's all pretty much got to go in the bin. Just haven't gotten around to it. Tie rod ends. Because missing. Yeah. There's the short shift thing in there. There's more stuff under there. Probably not my CAS. I think that'll do for today though. I just come in here quick. I know I'm not working, but I've been very busy doing other things, and have somehow fallen short of time for the car. But it is only Thursday, so I might come back tomorrow and do some more on this, but I'm planning to do something tomorrow as well. Yeah. Timing bouncing around indicates to me it's probably the tune, and that could be enough for that to run that rough. The tune's not consistent at about 1000 RPM is where it's idling, when it's idling consistently. Then that's enough, I think, to cause that. It doesn't mean it definitely is that problem or the cause, but it's definitely affecting it. So I'll try and get to the bottom of that. I'll see if I can dig out another CAS or get one to test it with and see if that makes a difference. If that makes a difference, and it smooths the idle out, and happy days. She's off to the tuner as soon as I've got a new job. Because I'm not forking over a couple grand to a tuner for the run-in until I got an income stream, unfortunately. So yeah, while I got the money sitting there, I don't want to spend it until it's been replaced. I said that's all I'm going to do, so that's all I'm going to do, and I'll see you next time. It's a short video, but some diagnosis done. Wish I could find that other CAS. It's not over. As per standard procedure for me, I'm doing it wrong. Apparently the haltech, and I don't know if the stock ECU is the same. I doubt it because you couldn't do it. The haltech needs you to lock the timing when you're doing a timing test. When using a timing light, there's a tab in there where you click the thing to lock the timing at a set time, because it's using the timing map to try and hunt for idle or whatever. So it is changing the timing. It's bouncing all over the place because the ECU is telling it to bounce all over the place, which is what it's supposed to do, because it's not running right. So it's trying to make it run right. Now whether or not that map is correct, I don't know. It probably isn't, because I messed with it all. So that could just be that could be the whole problem. But what I have to wait to do is wait for my slave child to come home and steal his school laptop, so he can't do homework, because that's the only laptop I've got here, and plug it into the ECU, lock the timing, redo the test. So I'll do that tonight when he gets home. For now, I'll chill out, have a beer, I don't know, do something productive, probably not. But yeah, I'll be back later with a laptop, lock the timing and do it properly, because I'm an idiot. Alright, YouTube and the internets, got the laptop, so ready to lock the timing and do the test again. So F5, now the ignition is on. Look at me being all laptopy, tunery stuff. I have no idea what I'm doing at all. But I do remember seeing a lock timing option on one of the tabs, so I might be able to figure it out. Talk to the computer. There we go. So this map is all the base one. Ignition, base timing, crank timing. Where is the lock? No, this is in options. Nope. Where did I do all that stuff I did before? Let me find it. So I'm going to go into setup, main setup, and then I think in here is all these settings are from the there is lock timing, and the instructions say 15 degrees, so .0. Okay, so we've got the timing locked in. You can't see anything there because that screen has changed because I applied it. Now everything's just as it was before. I want that timing over it a little bit because it seemed to want that to start a bit easier. Everything's up, clear of the fans and belts. Let's give it some power. Yeah, this would be easier if I wasn't holding the camera. Voila. Voila. And start it. Oil pressure, yep. timing's quite stable at about 10 degrees there now. So I think you're not supposed to rev it over 2000 RPM with the timing lock on. I did have a set of instructions that I read. I can't remember. There was something about 2000 RPM. The idle's quite high. It's idling at about 1800 because it's running rough. But it's idling down, as you can probably hear in the background. So, see what it's idling at now. Down to 1000 RPM on the idle. So we'll try giving it a little bit of rev. See if it's going to wreck the timing at all. Yeah, that I've got unburnt ethanol in my throat, my eyeballs, from that exhaust leak at the top of the V-band there. Yeah, that stabilised it, so that seems to be fine. It bouncing around all over the place is what it's supposed to. Well, it's trying to find idle, the right timing for idle. I still think it's probably just tune related, though that it wasn't revving any better there. I couldn't really give it a lot of revs. I have set about trying to get a replacement CAS just to test, to diagnose. So swap it out if someone's car is running, chuck it in, try it, see if it makes a difference. If it doesn't, I'm no better or worse off. Then it will be injectors, flow tested and cleaned, and I still haven't found my infrared thermometer. That might be another test I can do tomorrow. But for now, that's going to do it. So the timing seems to be right. It's now set at 10 degrees, which is pretty close to the marks. Not quite where it was. It's not far off though. So yeah, it's timing wise, it's right. Everything else, I don't know. We'll figure it out, and then it's going to be awesome. Once again, this is like a minimal problem compared to the issues I was having before. In the grand scheme of things, it's just a little bit of time, a little bit of effort, maybe a little bit of money as well. If I can't solve all this, I will just hand it over to the tuner like it is and say, look, it's got a mess. I think it's probably in the map. I messed with it. Fix it for me. So, and he probably will. It'll probably take the tuner 5 minutes. But while I don't need to, I'm not going to throw money at him until I need to. And like I said, until I've got another income stream. So once I get that sorted out, it'll be all things go. Yeah, I'll return my son's laptop and pack it up in here. See you.